Today, from Ford Field in Detroit, it's Week 11 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Desmond Ridder and the Detroit Lions taking on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. The beat goes on, doesn't it? A perfect 10-0 to... the campaign.
And it's a good locker room to be in, too. Guys don't show up on game day hoping to win. They expect to win. And so far, they've yet to have a letdown.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He's able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw, Cousins. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack.
2 plays so far, run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Here's Cousins. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. After last week's loss, you bet this offense probably wanted to come out with a little more fire than a 3-and-out.
And I'm sure that people are saying, hey, come on, Coach, where was the pregame talk? Have these guys ready to go? But you and I both know it goes into preparation and practice and being ready to go. That gives you the confidence to come out and play. They've got to find that and fast.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return, and the Lions will take over. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they've played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, and when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten, and they need to make sure they keep it in that order.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Second down, another run with Taylor. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Taylor. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Taylor. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. We know this offense, they're built around passing the football. That time, the running game didn't suit them so well.
Not so well, but they have to do it every so often. You have to be able to control the pass rush a little bit, make them somewhat hesitant before they come and get your quarterback. At least have the illusion that you have a running game.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got it. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a sharp throw right there on third down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal from just inside the 5. They'll set up to throw. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Fall for touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Cousins now.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Now, this defense for the Lions, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him, because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
That's caught inside the 20.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit.
Kyle Pitts.
A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're...
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Kirby Joseph.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with the pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. He's had a pretty miserable first half. The pick 6 a moment ago, the second one he's thrown. And we're not to halftime yet.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20.
He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook.
And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
On second down, it's Cook again.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
First and 10, Taylor now.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Rolling to his left. That's going to be caught. Touchdown.
Kyle Pitts.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Lions continue to pull away here in this first half. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And, Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here, because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Throwing, Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight-line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
First down. Here's Cousins.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins.
Another one on this play for Justin Jefferson.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Cousins.
Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it.
And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
Cousins in step with Jefferson that time. First down, Vikings. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Cook, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Now Cousins. Over the middle, complete. It's Cook. And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. Prater's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about complementary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3 and out, there could be enough time on the clock that they can get the ball back for their offensive guys and maybe put some more points on the board before the half.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
So here are the Lions to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
46 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Now that's a dangerous throw right there. Moving off to his right, throwing it all the way back across field to his left. I know he had a lot of confidence in his arm, but sometimes the ball can just hang up there when it goes that distance. He was fortunate it was just incomplete.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll look to throw.
They'll get that one to Taylor complete. He's got room at the 30. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown.
Kyle Pitts
on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Lions just continue to roll.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Badgley on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And it was the tight end Kyle Pitts finishing it all off on the touchdown reception.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
From the 35 on second down, Cousins. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. A first down throw for Cousins.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Cousins to throw it.
Middle of the field to Jefferson.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 45-yard line.
Throw caught there by Osborne. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And as they approach halftime, it's the Bears who are out in front. Quarterback Justin Fields with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. The Dolphins locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. and they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. The Bills trying to hold on and claim victory. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway.
Phillips now from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3.
They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles, and I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
That pass caught. It's Williams.
Touchdown, Detroit.
Jamison Williams.
75 yards.
And the Lions extend their lead yet again.
And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Cousins now to throw on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Cousins.
This one into the hands of Thielen.
20, 10, 5, touchdown Vikings. Adam Thielen with career touchdown number 70.
And the Vikings are able to at least get one score back.
Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Prater for the extra point. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. But Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense.
Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards. But, hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw here. He'll find his man. That's Taylor again. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. 57 yards on the ground for him so far.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Forced out to his left. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, a 22.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. He'll drop to throw. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season.
And the Lions are pouring it on. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Taking it about the 1.
And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 at the 24. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Five yards remain on second down.
Throwing is Cousins.
Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again.
2 yards on the pickup there. And now we've got a third down and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Third and short yardage. Cousins. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Ezra Cleveland, the guard, called for the penalty there.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on third and long? Cousins. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand.
And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Vita Vea in there to get him, and on the seat. Is 9 sacks for him.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
He'll boot it away from about his 35. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line.
Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. He'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds.
And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the fourth quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. That's going to be caught by Pitts. Touchdown, Detroit. Kyle Pitts, 42 yards. And the Lions add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
And now out comes Minnesota.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time looked well for a solid gain.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He needed a yard. That's exactly what he got. Earns him a new set of downs.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. It looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going? And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To the air again, it's Cousins.
Open man is Osborne. He's got it.
That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. So they still get the completion even though the blitz was on. But the blitz got there. Does that stay in the mind of the quarterback the next couple plays?
That's what you're hoping for. That's what you're planning for. Yeah, it's a little risk reward, right? You're leaving your guys on an island back there in man coverage. But you take the chance that you get to the quarterback, and so he gets completion here. Congratulations. Keep coming at him, and hopefully it pays off by the end of the game that you're starting to get to him while still able to cover on the back end.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Now Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he's got room. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. He finds his man complete. That's Osborne.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
From the third team now, they work on 1st and 10.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Here's Cook again.
He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. To throw, Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown.
KJ Osborne.
A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Vikings get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
Phillips now from the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
And really a lot of guys you could highlight on this offense with how well they've played, but he's one of them. He's been spectacular so far.
I'd say he'd be the #1, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's not just the numbers. It's, as you said, I think you said focal point. But that's what he's been, and that means he's created other opportunities, because they've had to bring the defense to him. He's run it really well. He's caught it out of the backfield. They're trying to stop him. That means there are chances for the rest of the guys to do damage themselves.
2nd down, another run with Taylor.
And some room to work. There he goes left side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this has been another impressive display by this undefeated team, Charles, and it looks like they're going to stay that way after this one.
Yeah, one of the league's best offenses. They stayed on brand in this contest because they continue to look good at what they do. Just added a late touchdown. Now they're really hammering home just how good they've been all year long, letting the rest of the league take notice.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this 4th quarter.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's Cousins.
Finding Hockenson here on the out route.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
From the 29, Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Cousins again. Throw left side complete. That's Cook.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Cousins now.
Adam Thielen, back-to-back catches.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll throw again. Cousins. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. 3rd and goal for Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Mike Hughes. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap 1.
Badgley on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
One last shot now for Cousins. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team.